Well, it's official. YouTube has announced podcasts are a go. New features on Studio Desktop let you create a new podcast, set an existing playlist as a podcast, and measure your podcast's performance. Let me quickly share my screen with you and we'll set up our Content Jefe podcast that we've had on YouTube to actually be a podcast. I'm gonna click here, up here on our profile picture, and you'll see you find YouTube Studio. And this takes me to YouTube Studio. Along the left-hand side here, I have all these options. One of them is content. I'll click on that. And from content, I have videos, live posts, and playlists. And look, there's now a podcast tab. Okay, and if we go to playlists, now I see my playlist here. And in this playlist, if I hover over these three dots that says options, it will say set as podcast. So you can now set any existing playlist you have as a podcast. Well, let's see what happens. I set it as podcast, it wants a title. Now YouTube recommends that this title is the exact title of your show and that you don't need to add any extra words, even the word podcast. No need to add that because it knows this is a podcast now. So I'm just gonna say Content Jefe. And then this is be a Content Jefe and tune in each week. This isn't actually the description for our show, but it's close enough. So I'm gonna leave it there for this video and I'll tweak this a little bit later after this video. And then of course you can do the thumbnail for your podcast, which means I need to go find the thumbnail for the podcast. Okay, now we can click here and upload our podcast cover art. There's our podcast cover art. We make it public, has the title. And now I can go back to my channel content again. And if I click on podcasts, now this playlist shows up as a podcast. And we're gonna have all of the analytics that YouTube has. And YouTube has a wonderful analytics system already set up. Also, once this channel reaches the minimum requirements for monetization on YouTube, we'll also be able to start monetizing off of this playlist or off of this podcast. So what do you think? Are you as excited as we are? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I made this video right here all about podcasting on YouTube where I share some really cool tips for getting started. If you do want to start incorporating that camera, or even if you don't, you're going to find some really amazing tips in this video.